Good afternoon, everyone. This is YC from YC Cooks and Bakes. Today, I'm going to be making a southern broccoli casserole to go with our. I have honey mustard baked chicken that I'm going to be doing. Um, and I have a sauteed recipe, one that I use with like a stone ground mustard in it, but this one is with honey Dijon mustard. And there's a bit of a difference. This one just goes into the oven. You don't have to fry anything on top of the stove. Um, so this is a honey mustard baked chicken, and I will be showing you my southern broccoli casserole. That will also go in the oven also next to the chicken at 350 degrees. So it makes this meal nice when you can put like the same size dishes next to each other in the same oven, heat for both of them at the same time, and then they can cook next to each other. Okay, so I started to cut up some broccoli, like a head of broccoli, a little crown, and but I'm gonna go ahead and get the seasoning on the chicken, and then we'll come back to the broccoli. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started on this. So I'll tilt you forward so you can see the sauce that I'll be putting on the chicken before it goes into the oven. Okay. And it is, first of all, you can use one chicken, you can use a 3-pound chicken cut up. And I was hoping at the grocery store today, the one that I go to, I went to 2 stores today, Aldi, and then I always pick another one. And the other one was Piggly Wiggly. They usually have a cut-up chicken, but today they did not. They had leg quarters, just legs, thighs, breast pieces, and things like that. And I bought breasts and fryer breasts for like another occasion I'm doing something else with. So this, I bought some leg quarters, and I went ahead and cut them up and processed them like how we process them here. We clean them and everything, and everyone has their own way of doing that, and that's fine. So I will be using legs and thighs from quarters that I had cut up. But it's okay to use a whole chicken cut up if you want to. Okay, so we're going to use 1 stick of butter melted. Okay, and keep this pan handy because the southern broccoli casserole that you're going to be doing after also has a melted stick of butter in it. Okay, so now we want 1/2 cup of honey. And this is just the clover honey, like you see in the bear. Okay. All right. And then a 1/4 cup of Dijon mustard. And this is the one that has the white wine in it. Okay. I'm trying to get everything I can out of it. Okay. Now, we're going to go ahead and put in a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Well, if I can do it. It's about to use the wrong one. I had actually bought more salt today, but I got to finish using the one out of this first. It's not going to work for me. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the other one. Hang on. Okay, I went ahead and opened up the new one. I can hear that there's some in the other one, but I don't know how much. Okay, so there you go. And then now we're going to use a 1/4 teaspoon of the ground black pepper. And I'll just use my spoon. Okay, let's stir this up. Make sure I got everything. The butter and the honey and the Dijon and the salt and the pepper. I mean, they're simple ingredients, but they pack a punch because these are all wonderful ingredients. And every 15 to 20 minutes, you can baste the chicken with, the drippings down in the dish once it starts cooking. Okay, so let me push this aside and get a 9x13. You know me, I love that loud Pyrex. And I'm going to go ahead and put in the chicken. Okay. Like this. Just any way, you can fit it best in the pan, you know what I mean? In your dish. Okay. Probably should have got a whisk for this. But I'm just going to be pouring this on top, and then I'll sit it aside while we continue on with our southern broccoli casserole. Okay. And like I said, while this is cooking too, you're going to be using a brush or a spoon and, basting it with it, basting it with it, I should say. See? I'll bring you up so you can see what it looks like. It looks like that. And I wanted to get that part done so it would start taking on flavor. So I'm going to move this aside now. Okay, I'm back. I already, like I said, I had already cut one crown. A crown looks like this, and it's in here waiting to be washed and everything. And I am going to process this one because you need about 6 cups of, separated broccoli crowns for this southern broccoli casserole. And the only difference between, they both, the chicken goes in for an hour, and this only goes in for about 30 to 40 minutes when it goes into the oven. But I only steam it for 5 minutes, and we're preparing it right now so we can steam it. So I'm just basically separating it and, cutting the tags off and things like that, and separating the little trees, is what I'm doing. And anytime it has a little tag, I cut it off, you see? It has those little tags, I just cut it off, or you can pull them off. That's what I'm doing. And there is a little bit of work with this, but this casserole, but just like the squash, the yellow squash one that I show you, this one too is also very, very good. And if you are someone who loves broccoli, you'll be able to make this. I've never made it with cauliflower, but if you can't have broccoli, I certainly would try it with cauliflower. I don't see why not, but I'm just saying. I'm the other way around. My stomach does not like cauliflower, but I can eat broccoli. I eat broccoli all the time, raw and in salads and everything. It's kind of strange. Anyway. It's really nice in South Carolina today. I was sitting on my swing for a long time and I didn't want to come in, except I had to do dishes and cook. I had to come in, but I did my grocery shopping today. Yesterday was my laundry day, so I got all that done. Okay. And this is roughly 1.5 pounds of raw broccoli. That's what it is. At least that's how I purchased it in the grocery store. Aldi didn't have any of my almond milk again today. And no chickens, because I wanted a chicken. I was going to cut it up myself. No, there's none. Very frustrating. But it is what it is, I guess, right now. Here's my oven. It's ready for the chicken. So I'll go ahead and get that put in. And I'll get this all washed. And this is going to go into my steamer on the stove that I have on top of boiling water for about 5 minutes. And we will get on with the rest of it. Okay, it's almost done steaming. It smells like steamed broccoli in here. So I had finely diced a small onion, or you can use like half of a medium onion and finely dice it. And I'm going to shred this cheese also while I am waiting on the broccoli. Okay, just so you know, that cheddar cheese is extra sharp cheddar cheese, and it comes to like a cup and a half that we use for this. Okay, I'm going to bring my bowl here so we can start mixing things in it. Okay, and I'm going to put the broccoli in it. Like this, and you can cut it up even smaller if you want. It just depends, you know, or you can leave it like this and cut it up more when you get it on your plate. However, you know, it'll be your casserole. You can do it how you want, you know. Okay. We could just make a mess like me. We could get a cloth. Okay, so now basically this is where you just combine all your other ingredients. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and put in that onion that I went ahead and diced. I'll put that in. It's not a lot, just a little bit. I bought more onions today because the others seems like they go bad quicker than they used to. I don't know why or what the deal is there. Okay, and then you start off with a cup of mayonnaise, you know, whatever kind you like. Okay. And then we do have 1 can of soup in this, just like there is in the yellow squash one. In the broccoli one, there is also, it's cream of mushroom. I think that's also in the squash one. But I'm sure any cream soup will work, you know what I mean? Whatever you have on hand. I wouldn't go shopping just for a can of cream soup if you've got a different kind. Okay. And let's see what else. We do want to put in a couple eggs and a half a teaspoon of salt. I must have put it away. And, you know, I'm going to just eyeball it. Okay. And we want to put in a quarter teaspoon of ground black pepper. And you put in a cup of the cheddar cheese, and yet the half cup that's left over, you know, is for the top to go with crushed crackers. Now, a lot of recipes will tell you to buy like Ritz and stuff like that, but the Aldi brand of that kind of buttery rounds just really has a lot of unhealthy stuff in it. If you like them and it doesn't bother you, go ahead. But I did go over all the boxes that were there, and this is the one that I chose that I thought was the healthiest that they had, and it's garden vegetable. They're bigger rounds, but you know, you don't have to use the whole sleeve. They do tell you to use the whole sleeve of the Ritz size kind to crush across this southern broccoli casserole. Let's see, I still have to put in my eggs. So I'll go ahead and I'll crack these and mix them up real quick. Okay, I've just been mixing all this up, and one more thing while I'm thinking of it is that, remember now, when we made the mixture of honey for the chicken, we used a whole stick. Well, for this recipe, it's half a stick, but I still used the same pan to melt the butter in. You know, I just wanted you to know that, like, this is like a quarter cup and the other one's like a half a cup. So okay, I think this is good, and we're going to go ahead and pour it in our other 9x13 pan or dish that I've already sprayed. Let me go ahead and get that. Okay. And I'll pour that in at this time. I'm just trying to get as much as I can out of it. Okay. Probably sit there and, you know, scrape it all day. All right, it's looking good. I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle that little bit of cheese left on it, and then I'm going to crush some those crackers to go across the top, and then this will go in the 350-degree oven next to the chicken. Okay, we're at the stove. Everything is all done for our supper. There we go. We have our honey and Dijon mustard chicken. See? And there is our broccoli, southern broccoli casserole. And I'll see if I can plate some so you can see it. Okay, I don't know if you can see it any better over here, but I'm going to show you. See? There's the broccoli, southern broccoli casserole, and the beautiful honey and mustard chicken. And they were both done in 9x13s at the same time. I hope everybody has a great night. Bye-bye.